guys, welcome to another one of NZ Pocket Guides live travel shows where we answer all your questions about traveling in New Zealand right here live on the live chat. So this is Robin, actually he's off screen right now, sorry, that's Robin, and I'm Laura, and we're the team behind NZPocketGuide.com, which is New Zealand's largest travel guide because it literally has thousands and thousands and thousands of articles to help you plan the perfect trip to New Zealand now that the borders have all been announced for when they're going to be open. So now is the perfect time to start planning your trip for free on NZ Pocket Guide. But if you're not really into reading, this is what the live show is all about, where you guys can come to the live chat and ask your New Zealand travel questions directly to the experts, and we go through every single one of the comments during this live show, so ask away. But if you do miss the live show, you can always put your questions in the comments section of any of our YouTube videos, and we'll be on the case to answer them as soon as possible.
Indeed. All right, so it starts with a lot of people here. I love it. So we have the great Anthony Comstock, one of our fabulous Patreons, saying Morena from Rodeo, California. Laura, what does Morena mean?
Morena means good morning in the Maori language.
We also have Kia ora, Morena, everyone, from Nathan Baith, which is local in Taupo. Anthony Comstock is referring to the poll. We'll go over the question of the day, saying you need none of the above to that question. What do you mean?
Not a big mountain guy.
I'm not even saying you have to climb the mountain. I say you want to see it. Come on, mate. I know there is at least one of those mountains you want to see when traveling in New Zealand. And we have Adil Mula that says Kia ora, Robin and Laura. Kia ora to you too. Kiwi Lauren, what is Kiwi Lauren saying?
Kiwi Lauren says, hi team, glad to be here today. The Tongariro crossing is on my list for my next trip to New Zealand.
Nice, nice. It's a fantastic 19.6 kilometers hike that we cannot recommend enough. We actually have
done it several times.
Yeah, we have multiple guides of us doing it on the channel and on the site because damn, we really like it.
Yeah.
Fabio, another one of our amazing Patreons, says Morena guys. Chandler Sharp says Kia ora. Chasing Adeline, which has been commenting on a lot of our videos recently. Chasing Adeline, you must have done a bit of binging of our content. And she says hi guys.
Hello.
We also have MD all the way from Dallas saying hello
from Dallas.
Yes, the only thing I know from Dallas is that guy with the cowboy hat in that TV show called Dallas. That's the only thing I know from there. Oh no, the Maverick is from Dallas. From Dallas. Okay, Extreme Talauta says Morena Atamari. How are you doing, Extreme Talauta? That's been a while. He is in Tokoroa, which is on the North Island of New Zealand. Look at that, I remember everybody. Chasing Adeline is seeing things so positively today. I love it. She says it's nice that the country is opening up.
It is
indeed. So when is completely free travel to New Zealand? All right, let's just give the date right now. People are going to ask, when can we travel to New Zealand?
So the borders are fully reopened by the 31st of July at 11:59 p.m.
So the 1st of August.
Pretty much the 1st of August. But just for specifics, you can arrive at midnight if you want to. All right, we have B+N saying Morena Kutu, happy Queen's birthday weekend.
It is indeed a long weekend this week. I mean, this weekend, literally right now, it's Sunday in New Zealand, so we are in the midst of the long weekend, which means pretty much just sales in every shop. I don't think there's much celebration. Like coming up, we actually have Matariki, which is a brand new public holiday in New Zealand, which is going to happen from the 21st to the 24th. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of different celebration and everything. But for Queen's birthday, we don't do much here, do we?
It's just a long weekend, and people are just happy to get that extra day off work.
You can just get like 30% off on your appliances. That's basically what it is at the moment.
Yeah.
The Queen's birthday.
And
it's all about sales.
Yeah, no one is really, putting a candle on the cake for the Queen. And actually, interestingly,
I will wear a crown for the entire day tomorrow for like this Queen's birthday Monday. I will wear a crown for the whole day.
And interestingly enough, so I come from the UK originally, and when I first came to New Zealand and saw there was this thing called the Queen's birthday weekend, I had never even heard of it.
So you don't have Queen's birthday in the UK?
In the UK, not as a public holiday.
That totally makes sense.
Yeah, or maybe, I'm not sure, maybe it is now, but I never had heard of it before coming to New Zealand.
Yeah. There's a bit of a siren right now. I hope we're all okay. All right, where are we at? We have Sander de Vries, one of our amazing Patreon, that says, "Hey, how are you? We are feeling fabulous today. It is a bit frisky, I have to be honest. It's cold today. It is winter, but you know that kind of pumps us up and get the blood pumping
Makes
a
us
little
want
bit.
to move more.
Yeah, and also really excited about getting discounted appliances. You know, pretty exciting stuff.
What appliances will you be getting, Robin? Robin wants an air fryer, guys. So
I would like to have an air fryer, but I don't think we'll get one. I don't think that would make sense to fry things like crazy. Okay, who else do we have?
We have Chasing Adelaide saying hi from
Adeline,
sorry, saying hi from Southern California.
How is it going? I bet it's warm over there. Oh,
but it's so much warmer than over here.
B+N says, I've seen all those mountains on that list. No, I didn't climb any, and my favorite is probably Mount Cook. It is pretty amazing.
Always covered in snow all year round, and it's absolutely beautiful.
MD says, popular food, mums. Popular, I don't know why mum, but popular foods are okay. The most popular food, literally when eating out in New Zealand, is fish and chips. Everybody always wants to go for a fish and chip. But yeah.
Other popular foods are oversized burgers or gourmet burgers. Is kind of like the thing in New Zealand. Like the larger the burger, the better. Other things.
Hey, Jaro's here. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, and then other things are like candies, New Zealand candies like Jaffas, what they call pineapple lumps. That sort of thing. Tip Top ice cream, Hokey Pokey ice cream, which is honeycomb ice cream. So there's some popular foods in New Zealand.
And food that are popular but you shouldn't try are Weet-Bix and Marmite. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. Chasing Adeline said, that's awesome. Nice. We have MD says, quite a few live streaming cameras in New Zealand. New Zealand money versus US dollars. What is a penny? A penny is a cent in New Zealand, but we don't really use that. The smallest coin that we have, is it 5 cents or 10 cents? I haven't seen coins in a while.
5 cents.
5 cents. So the smallest thing that we have is a 5 cent coin.
I'm actually now thinking, because people mostly pay with card in New Zealand. That's the thing
very
take
rarely
into account is that most people pay with what they call EFTPOS, which, do you know what EFTPOS stands for,
Electronic Financial Transaction Operating System, I think, or something like that.
Which in other words is just paying with your card. So that is the way most people pay for things in New Zealand. So to be honest, that is the reason why we're struggling to think of what is the smallest cent in New Zealand. But I think it might be 10 cents. I don't know if it goes all the way down to 5. I'm not sure.
Yeah. Really, we don't use coins enough. Actually, I should just check it out while you read a couple of comments, because I don't want to give wrong information. Give me a second, I'm going to check.
Okay, so we have Fabio saying Queen's birthday is kind of important because it is the day when they remove the bridges in Milford Sound. Yeah. So on the Milford Track, which is one of the great walks of New Zealand in the Fiordland National Park, during, the Queen's birthday weekend, they actually take down, it makes more financial sense for them to take down all the swing bridges that go across the valleys and stuff, to take them down and then rebuild them, re-put them back up for the next hiking season, because during the winter season for the Milford Track, it's usually pretty hectic weather and those sort of infrastructures do get washed away during winter. So yeah, there's a little bit of tidbit of information for you there.
All right, so I just checked on the Reserve Bank of New Zealand website, and the smallest coin is actually 10 coins, so 10 cents. So Nathan Baith, the great Nathan Baith, just corrected me down there, and he's correct.
The great Nathan
The
Baith.
great Nathan Baith. Okay, so B+N says, Kaira Extreme Talauta. She says she stayed in Tokoroa for her first winter in New Zealand, working in a farm job, cutting pine trees. Yeah, there is definitely a lot of forestry happening near the Tokoroa area, that's for sure.
They have a huge statue in the town of like
the
a
howling,
woodcutter.
Yeah, the howling statues of Tokoroa, also made of carved wood as well, which is quite cool. He says he's a MD says he's a farm technician from 2 weeks ago. If you remember, he was asking us some questions.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and I was like, I was saying, if you're into this, and then he was like, I'm a farm tech. I was like, oh well, then here you go, you know all that. Nathan Bass corrected me, and then Extreme Talata is talking with B+N. All right, guys. So we have the question of the day, guys. So let's first, you need to hear me sing. Question of the day. Ooh, question of the day. Wow, it's question of the day. Oh my god.
Beautiful.
All right. So today we're asking you guys, what is the mountain in New Zealand that you are the most excited to see? What's your must see on your itinerary coming to New Zealand? So we have some of the most popular options right here. Mount Tongariro, Mount Cook, Mount Taranaki, but we also have Mount Manganui because pretty much everybody does a bit of a climb up Mount Manganui when they go to Tauranga. So we have some options for you guys. Make sure to vote at the end of this live session. We'll see what is your most, I don't know, the most excitable mountain, you know, the thing that drives you the most into coming to New Zealand, because we kind of are a mountain country here in New Zealand. Apologize, MD, you are shitty. I will remember for next time. Kiwi Lauren says they have pennies in the US too. We used two in Canada and then we ditched them years ago. I think it must cost a lot of money. Like, I mean, for a country to actually have pennies, like just actually making them, it must cost more than 1 penny because it's actual metal. You have the design, you have the transportation, you have all that. So I think you're operating having pennies at the country at a loss. So I know it's bad for inflation to actually remove like the smallest denomination coins because then prices are always rounded to the higher up. But on the other hand, as a country, I think you're running that as a loss, and I don't know if it's that beneficial. And I think that's why more and more countries are losing pennies. I know it did happen in France before the franc was getting rid of, and then they decided to do euros and everything. But yeah, it does make financial sense to not have too small coins.
And if you want to check out our financial channel, go to... I'm joking. Moving on.
What? All right.
We don't have a finance channel.
Helen Wilkinson.
Helen Wilkinson says, "Good evening, Robin and Laura from England."
How are you doing,
Helen?
Okay, we have B+ that says no, they're not anymore. There was our first winter in New Zealand 3 years ago. Wow, that was a long time ago. You are now classified as a Kiwi. You've made it through COVID in New Zealand. You're a Kiwi. Lauren says, I thought FPOS was electronic fund transfer at point of sale. Probably is that. You know, it's just a bunch of confused words. I was so confused the first time I heard it, as we just say debit in Canada. Yes, so that's true. So if you're traveling in New Zealand and people ask you to pay FPOS, it literally just means debit card. It's not credit. You get FPOS or credit. But if you hear the word FPOS, it is debit card. So yeah, it's definitely something that kind of confuses a lot of people for sure.
B+N says, I take it back. The only mountain on the list I've climbed is Mount Maunganui.
Here you go. I kind of knew you guys would have climbed Mount Maunganui. I mean, you know, it kind of is your backyard.
Yeah. Do you know what the real name of Mount Maunganui is?
The Mount? Everybody call it the Mount. Let's be honest, everybody call it the Mount.
I wouldn't know how to pronounce it properly, but yeah, there's the Maori name for Mount Maunganui is Mauau. Somebody please correct my pronunciation because it's probably very wrong, but I know how to spell it.
Yes, everybody in the chat, please correct her pronunciation. That's going to be swell. I cannot wait to see that happen.
So Mount Maunganui is actually the suburb that the mount is located in, but sometimes just for easy reference, people just call it like the Mount Maunganui, go climb Mount Maunganui. Yeah. So yeah.
All right. Fabio says Mauau is a very cool mountain. Paparoa Beach and Maunganui area is very cool. Yeah, it is definitely a good place to hang out, especially in summer. You know, you get beach galore. You know, it's all about. It's kind of like that beach resort kind of New Zealand, I'd say. Yeah, it really has these vibes, like ice cream parlors around and a little promenade where you can just walk by the beach, but you don't have your feet in the sand. It's still like paved and all that. It really feels like that.
Go on your sup tour around the mountain, you know, which you can actually see a video of us doing when we went there. So go check that out on YouTube if you're interested in seeing the things that you can do around the mount. And we actually also have a video of us hiking up the mount as well.
Spider Mech is back and asking, are we still in summer? Laura, are we still in summer?
Absolutely not. We are in June right now in New Zealand, which is the first month of winter. So yeah, we're definitely feeling the cold right now. It has been very frosty this morning in the central North Island where we are.
So just... oh, sorry about that. There was a bit of a... anyway, just to go over the seasons in New Zealand, just so it's very clear for all of you. So we're going to start right now, which is in summer. So June, July, and August, which is winter. Oh, I'll start well. Okay, again, the seasons in New Zealand. Let's start again. Right now, currently, it is winter in New Zealand, June, July, and August. Then we're going to spring, which is September, October, November. Then we're having summer, which is December, January, February. And then we're having autumn, March, April, May. So that is all the seasons in New Zealand. So basically, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, that'll be the complete opposite to what you are experiencing. All right. Then we have some people basically commenting on your pronunciation. So.
Yeah, so B+N said, Mawao, you pronounced it right.
But then we have Kiwi Lauren that says, I thought you were barking for a second. Bow wow.
Yeah.
But Mawao makes more sense. Yes. Violet Zulu is back, but she changed her name to Vi.
Zulu.
Vi Zulu is kind of like it's like the cool alter ego of Violet. You know, it's kind of like the alter ego of Violet in with the kids. And so she says, guys, long time. How are you doing? I hope that you are all well. How much did I miss for the past 3 weeks? South Africa is cold like there's no one business these days. Well, that's basically what you missed in New Zealand as well. So, yeah, in short, what you've missed, it's cold in New Zealand because it's winter. And also the borders are reopening soon. So we're all pretty excited. The spirits are high.
Yes, indeed. Extreme Talauta says, what is cold? I'm still in shorts and singlet.
Yeah, well, that's one thing with Kiwis, right? I'll be honest with you guys. Even in the middle of winter, you're gonna see some Kiwis in their stubbies, which are like those really short, like which should be underwears and not short, and in gum boots, which are basically rubber boots that you can splash in the mud with, and they will literally walk around like that in the middle of winter, which I cannot comprehend. I am frozen to death. I'm putting layers upon layers. But yeah, they are made of another cloth, let's be honest. And yeah, we have a lot of friends, especially farmer friends, which literally, like, they are...
live in their shorts.
Yeah, they are impervious to elements. I feel like they're just you know, element. It's like, you know, sometimes when you sign up to services online, you need to check some boxes. Yeah, I want to subscribe to newsletter. Yeah, I want this. They just uncheck the box, which is like elements bother me, and they uncheck that when they've been made, and nothing bother them. It's insane, and I can genuinely picture Extreme Talauta being one of those. To be fair, he's always going to run in the middle of the rugby field in winter, and he's like, oh, I need to go train, and I'm like looking outside, and it's like absolutely pouring down with rain. If it's not snow, and he's still just going to run. So yeah. Anyway, what is Spider-Mac saying?
Spider-Mac says, it doesn't feel like winter because I'm still in my singlet.
Are you in New Zealand, Spider-Mac?
Yeah.
Okay, MD, what is she saying?
Is there a homeless problem in New Zealand? Second.
Is there a homeless problem in New Zealand? So not too much that we are aware of. We have a department ministry that is usually in charge of that, and they actually provide temporary housing to quite a lot of people, either through shelters or sometimes they put them in like motel rooms. So there are some motels which are like specializing almost into providing temporary housing for families and all that. But I do think that you know, it is a problem that is growing in New Zealand due to the housing shortage that we have here, as well as the fact that the prices for rents are absolutely sky high. So I wouldn't pass it, you know, as a, you know, I wouldn't dismiss it as New Zealand doesn't have a problem with that, but definitely not something as prominent as it is in other countries. Obviously, it is my narrow viewpoints from where we live and from what we see in the news. There is much better source of information to learn about the housing shortage and the homeless problem in New Zealand than this YouTube channel, which is mostly just about traveling in New Zealand and telling you about amazing things to visit. Rafa Cat, what is Rafa Cat having to say?
Rafa Cat Ali, who is one of our regulars, says, good morning from the UK. How are you today? We are very well, thank you. I can't wait for January because I'm traveling to explore the North Island. Ooh, exciting. Yeah, it's pretty good that you're just taking the time to explore one of the islands, because a lot of mistakes that people make is trying to fit in both islands within a short amount of time. So I'm guessing, Rafaket, that you don't have a huge amount of time to explore the whole country. So that's probably why you're going for the North Island. And yeah, that's a pretty good idea. B+N says, my first culture shock was laughing at a trucker wearing a parka over stubby shorts. I thought he didn't have any bottoms. I have to say, I have fallen for that a few times as well. I've seen people wearing, especially these long fleece jackets. I don't know what brand they are, but there's like this fleece checkered
Hunting
jacket.
and fishing, obviously.
Probably
They're always
and
hunting and fishing.
They're like either green or sort of checkered long fleece jackets, which come down really low and cover up their stubby shorts, and it looks like they're wearing no bottoms. But yeah, that's the fashion. That is the fashion in New Zealand. Spider-Mech says, yes, I'm Kiwi. Well, there you go.
There you go.
In New
Spider-Mech is in New Zealand. Nice to know. Okay, B+N says, I'm a social worker and wins. Yeah, that's the department. Work and Income New Zealand. I think that's what it stands for. It says provide emergency housing. Kainga Ora also has housing. I think some of those motels are housing people who are homeless, so scaring tourists away from them. Okay. Yeah, but usually the motels where you're gonna find, temporary housing are not the same than the one where you're gonna be having tourists. They usually specialize in one or the other, or at least that's my understanding from it. Chandler Sharp says, I am considering doing a working holiday. Well, you should. I cannot stress enough how much you should. And then he says, what are some tips for choosing an area, city to work and live in? My work background is mostly environmental science and outdoor education. All right. Do you want to get started?
Yeah, I think the first tip is actually do some traveling around New Zealand first before deciding on where you want to stay. Like a lot of people have in mind, like, okay, I need to get to New Zealand, settle somewhere as quickly as possible and work. I think that the smartest way to approach it is actually to save a bit of money so that you can do some traveling around New Zealand, and there's certainly ways to do that on a budget, so it doesn't have to be super expensive or anything. And yeah, get a feel for the place as you're traveling around, and once you get somewhere where you're like, this place is pretty awesome and I want to stay here for a while, then that is when you can, start looking for jobs. And usually there's quite a lot of job opportunities in New Zealand. There's definitely no job shortages here, but if you don't quite find something that works out, then hey, you can always move on to the next place, and the next place that sounds like it's going to be amazing for you. So yeah, that's my top tip, is to definitely travel before you start finding a place to work.
Yeah, my other tip is is just a very simple one, but you're coming for a working holiday, and most people actually think of it just as working. You are here as well for a holiday, so just make sure that you're going to be enjoying yourself as you travel around and as you stay in the country for however long you decide to do a working holiday. So I will say, rather than choosing one city as you're trying to do right here, maybe choose 3 and do 3 months in each, and then an extra 3 months of traveling around, in between. So you do 3 months of work, you do 1 month traveling, then 3 months of work, then 1 month traveling, then 3 months of work, then 1 month traveling. That would be the way I would approach it. So don't pick just one city, pick multiple cities.
Yeah.
That said, on nzpocketguide.com, it's our website, and it's all 100% free for you to check out. There is a link in the description of this video. There is a ton of helps for you to be able to plan your trip to New Zealand. So if you go on the website right now, you'll be able to go on work in New Zealand, and then you have working holiday visa. We have plenty of tips right here to help you with the visa. We have work tips and essential. We also have popular backpacker jobs, so you have plenty. We even have job listings right there. And so that should really help you kind of get an understanding about the working holiday visa experience in New Zealand and make the most of it, for during your holiday here. All right. That would be our tip. But if you have any specific question, Chandler, we're always happy to oblige. What is Extreme Taluta saying?
Extreme Taluta is giving us some updates from the rugby league season.
Yep.
So it's that time of the year. The weekend is the league season now. Males are on Saturday and females are on Sundays. I've done males yesterday.
Good job. And so, yeah, hopefully you're stretching right now for the next... for this week. Afternoon. Yeah, no, he's going this afternoon. He's doing Sunday as well. All right, so Fabio says the screen looks very strange. What do you mean? I just prepared something different with like 2 different cameras. We have one over there and one there, and I don't know. I just thought that was fun. You guys don't like this view? Tell me in the comment. Actually, I'd love to know if you actually do like this new view or not. I just like to change things around a little bit, and I thought it'd be a fun thing to do. And Clay is here.
Clay has a little wavy emoji. Hello,
Yes.
Clay, one of our other regulars and Patreons.
Yes.
We have Fabio saying, thanks, Robin. We have MD saying, how are the police reactions toward the public and filming the police?
Always ask first. You don't just point cameras toward people. You always ask first if it's okay to film them or not. But usually when they're on the job, they'd say no, or sometimes they are cool and they let you do it. Like we actually explained a few years back, we literally were walking around and we met a couple of cops, and we needed a couple of photos of like police cars and cops just to illustrate our safety in New Zealand articles and everything. Whereas then we could take some photos, and they're absolutely happily obliged. As long as you just explain what it is and why. Just talk to people first.
Yeah.
Then Rafa Cat says, I am traveling to New Zealand only for 2 weeks, so I am only exploring the North Island, and I will do the South Island next time. That's a smart way to travel, mate. Don't try to cram too much in there. And actually, I'm going to show you something that we have on the side that may interest you, Rafa Cat. Right here, we have something called Trip IDs right here. So if you're traveling for 2 weeks, you can go to like 14 days trip right here. And we have pre-made itineraries for you. So we've done all the itineraries to help you out planning your trip in New Zealand. And so you have 2 weeks in the South Island, 2 weeks in the North Island. That's literally what we will do. And it's day by day. There's really a ton of information to help you out plan your trip right here. And it's quite extensive day by day with all the stuff, and you're more than welcome to kind of swap things around obviously as you progress, but I think you'll find that super useful. Chandler says, thanks Robin and Laura. Also, I still haven't forgotten about your Tonga suggestion with the whales. That's true. That's pretty awesome. I mean, obviously right now Tonga is still closed, but it's about to reopen actually in like August. So I don't know when you're planning to come take a gap here in the country, Chandler. But you will have to wait maybe partway through your trip or at the end of your trips to go and do this epic adventure with the whales in Tonga. Feel free to join us on Patreon, Chandler. By the way, we help with like planning the trip and everything like that. And it's like $5 a month, and there is like secret Facebook group where you can hang out with us. It's quite fun. What is Clay saying?
Clay says, MD, the police don't care if you did, and also Kiwis aren't stupid enough nor have any reason to film like the videos in the States.
Yeah, that's true.
Fabio says the cameras are fun, but the text is getting strange. Referring to video.
I was just adjusting the text myself just because I realized it was a little too big. So I was adjusting it a little bit. So that I was just playing with it as we were live, which is not necessarily the best thing to do. What is Jane saying?
Jane says, is it possible to bring my cat along for my vacation? I'm planning to visit for a month.
That would be really hard, Jane, just because there is quarantine in New Zealand. So first up, that'd be very expensive, and I think the quarantine is
about a week.
About a week, yeah. So that would mean that you have to stay put for about a week. But what's the keywords right here? The bring pets. What is it?
Yeah, pets. Just type pet in search.
Yes. So So I'm on NZ Pocket Guide right now, and I'm literally searching bringing pets into New Zealand. We have a full article for you. I'm gonna swap the screen so you can see it. Boom. We have a full article for you right here about coming to New Zealand with pets. And there is a lot of things to read about because you have to have a lot of different treatments. There is like PDF documents to read and to fill.
Paperwork to fill out.
Yeah, and it's really expensive. I was so surprised when we did the research for that. It was incredibly expensive. And I'm trying to look. So you have to do between 5 and 12 treatments and inspections during the 30 days prior to your departure of New Zealand. So that's already all that. What is the quarantine for the pet? Depending on the type of pet. Oh yeah, we link to a page because it depends on what type of pet you're having. So there is really a lot of processes to do to bring your pet to New Zealand, Jane. So I don't think that'd be the ideal thing to do if I may be so bold.
Yeah.
And maybe it's time to hit all your friends and families and see if they can give a good life to your pet for 1 month and overfeed it for the whole time you're gone, because every time people leave us their pet, we overfeed them a ton and we create bad habits. But yeah, sorry about the bad news, Jane.
Yeah.
What is extreme salutaire?
Extreme Taluta says, that's next Sunday. I'm working this afternoon.
There you go.
Or this Arvo, because in New Zealand they say Arvo instead of afternoon.
Indeed. Chandler says he won't be coming to New Zealand for a while, so that's okay.
Okay.
It's going to be... Oh, Leo Toledo is back. That's been a while, Leo. Says, hi guys, which hot pools would you recommend on the North Island? Thank you.
Ooh, there's lots that we'd recommend on the North Island.
Let's start with a free one, Laura, near Rotorua.
Kerosene Creek is a really popular one. You definitely won't be the only ones there, but yeah, it's a free one that you can check out on the road toward Waiotapu Geothermal Park. And yeah, it's a free one with a tiny little waterfall there and looks really cool on photos.
Is there another free one near Taupo by any chance?
There is a free one also at Spa Park, which is almost in the centre of Taupo. It's maybe about a 15-minute walk outside of the town centre. But yeah, it's in a big park area. They have a container cafe there. They've made it more of a sort of like an attraction now where there's seating areas, changing rooms. But it is free to go and experience the natural hot springs there.
Okay, and what would be the paid for the one you would pick on the North Island, like somewhere around Rotorua, I guess?
Yeah, so Waikite Valley Thermal Pools is a really awesome one. They have, first of all, you can go through a little geothermal walk to see where the hot springs originate from, and then you can go and relax in different pools of different temperatures, different styles. You have small hot pools, large ones with a view into the valley. So yeah, Waikite Valley Thermal Pools is a really good paid option.
Other good paid option around that same area will be Hell's Gate and the Polynesian Spa, made famous by Boba Fett. And other paid for in other places on the North Island, you will have the Moree Hot Springs on the East Cape, as well as the famous hot pools in Mount Maunganui we were talking about just after you climb the little mountain, which is really not hard to do. You can get a well-deserved rest at the hot pools.
Yeah.
So here you go. That would be the one that comes up to our mind. I think that that's about like 6 or 7 different options for you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us which one you would choose out of the one that we just gave you, Leo? And by the way, we have videos of pretty much every single one of those hot pools that we just mentioned right here. So you can find a list of them on nzpocketguide.com. You just type hot pools in the search bar, or you can search on YouTube and find just type hot pools NZ Pocket Guide, and you'll find us bathing in literally all the hot pools in the country, because we have a terrible job.
Yeah.
Adil, what is Adil saying?
Adil says, I vote for the first view. The one blocks the comments. The new one blocks the comments.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I'm just doing some variety, mate. It's just, I'm not keeping one over the other. It's just to kind of, play around with things.
Have something a bit different.
Yes. But it looks like it's not necessarily a winner. So maybe that's going to be the poll for next week. I'll ask you if I should keep it for some variety or not. Robert Laliberte is saying something.
Thanks for going back to Kiwi Lauren. It's a cool name. After all, do you want to listen to Gordon Matthew Thomas Sumner or someone named Sting? Your name defines you.
Your name defines you. I like that statement. That is fun. Thank you, Robert. But yes, Robert Kiwi Lauren. I don't know if you know, but he was commenting on other videos saying that you went back to a different name, but he really liked the name Kiwi Lauren, so you should stick to this.
Spider-Mech
and
Jane about her cat's name.
Nyla, she says. So yeah.
We have Fabio says that he thinks that quarantine is about a month. But yeah, like Robin says, it depends on what sort of animal. So we do have links on nzpocketguide.com to official sources which can give you more information about quarantine for pets.
Also, it sometimes depends on what disease. It's kind of like, obviously that wouldn't apply to a cat, but if there is an avian flu going around or those kind of things, they will actually change the quarantine policy just for specific species of animals. So that's why we tend to kind of link to the official sources, so then you have literally the accurate information for that very month. Because it's really hard for us to keep track of all that. We do keep track of a lot of information on the site.
Extreme Taluta is talking about the new view and saying that the second camera doesn't show photos like the first camera.
No, it doesn't. It's to show you the green screen, to show you basically
behind the scenes.
Yeah, the second this camera right here, this camera that you're seeing, the really big one right here, it just shows you behind the screen. We're having right here, I'm controlling all the live sessions. Right here, we're having all your comments. This is the camera that we're currently using. and yeah, that's basically like just show you a little bit, just some fun things how it works. That's just it. It looks like it really bothers you guys. I won't use it again. It looks,
yeah.
It looks like there is a big.
That definitely wasn't a winner.
Yeah, there is a big.
But hey, thanks for your honesty, guys.
Yeah,
I'm glad
I
that
know.
you let us know what you like, what you don't like about our live streams, because we do this all for you guys. So we want to make it something that you actually want to watch. MD says barbecue outside. I demand.
Okay. Fabio
Yeah.
says, I asked for my Shiba and immigration told me it would be about a month, I think. Oh, yeah. Fabio has a very cute Shiba dog, guys.
Oh, yeah.
He shared it on the Patreon secret Facebook group once. Oh, damn that dog. Ooh, so cute. So Jane was saying that her cat's name was Nyla. And she also says thank you for the feedback. You're very welcome. As I said, it is not ideal to try to travel around New Zealand with pets, so it's better to just let them go be fed by friends and family.
Yeah.
What is Christine saying?
Christine says, aloha from Hawaii. Been
Aloha.
a while.
Yeah.
What do you prefer, to start a road trip from Auckland to Christchurch or vice versa?
So I personally think that going from Christchurch back to Auckland will be the best way for multiple reasons. First up, you may be able to get a better rate on your rental because most tourists actually go north to south. And therefore, usually around the end of the summer, they have a big inventory of cars at the bottom of the country that they try to bring back up. So that could help you negotiate a good deal for your car rental. Second, you will also go against the grain, so you will have less people on the road. You will have, it's just going to be a better experience all around, especially if you're traveling during the heat of the season. And third, start with a bang. Start on the North Island. I think the North Island is the most mind-blowing part of the country, and I feel like starting with a bang and just be straight away in the Southern Alps.
South Island?
Yeah, the South Island. Sorry. Starting with the Southern Alps over there is just really epic because also it will give you also less busy roads to acclimate to driving in New Zealand, as well as epic views. My opinion.
Yeah, I would just say on the counter of that, more if you're going for the feels of travelling from Auckland to Christchurch, just going with, not really for any logical reason, but just because, in my personal opinion, the scenery as you get down to the South Island just gets so much more dramatic and amazing and impressive. And I feel like, building up to seeing those sceneries as you're doing a road trip is like a really cool way to sort of, just to travel the country and sort of, lead up to the grand finale as you're about to leave Christchurch, other than going the other way around where you start, like Robin say, with a bang. But then, as you get to the North Island, as you go towards Auckland in Auckland traffic, and it's it doesn't have quite the same effect. So that would be sort of my counter argument to that. But Robin's argument was a lot more logical.
You get a bit of both.
Yeah.
Okay, Clay says you don't have Walls Plant Land on your website for down in around the Dunedin area. I think it's in Mosgiel, but yeah. He says I recommend checking it out and sharing it with the world. So it's like a really fancy garden center basically. So yeah, if you are into garden center, we don't have it on the side. I'll be honest, I think we don't go to a garden center. But if you want to go to a garden center, you
I
can.
will try and keep that in mind, and I'll add it to the things to do in Dunedin with kids, because we do have articles for for all of the cities and towns in New Zealand, and we have options for things to do in each city with kids. Yeah, we'll keep that in mind, and next time we are updating that website, I will look into it, and next time we're updating that article, I will look into it, and I shall probably add that as a personal recommendation from Clay.
Kiwi Lauren is giving us a bit of an update about her name. That's for you, Robert Laliberte. She says she tried to change her name for emails, but it also changed their name for YouTube because they are linked accounts. So yeah, that's the reason. You just need 2 accounts. That's basically how it is, and then link both of those accounts and then 1 account. That's all we kind of have to deal with these kind of things. Yeah, it's confusing and annoying. I 100% agree with you.
MD was talking about monkeypox in relation to the quarantine. I don't know if that really affects the quarantine for animals.
Yep.
Leo says, I'm always following the channel and I will visit New Zealand in January. Thanks for the tips. You guys are amazing.
You're very welcome. By the way, if like with Leo, you think that we're amazing, you may want to join us on Patreon. It's a great way to support us and get a lot of extra perk. However, instead of going through a lot of names and everything, today I'd like to address there is a person on the channel that has been commenting quite a lot and kind of mocking and being kind of really rude basically to us. So that person did comment online and she asked some very specific question and asked us to help with the itinerary and all that. And what we said is that you can join us on Patreon. It's only about $5 a month and there is no limit of time on how long you can stay, and then we can actually literally look at your itinerary and send it back to you. But then she was very rude and like mocked us and said we only have 12 people on Patreon, and we were basically losers and all these kind of things, and she preferred literally finding her information on TripAdvisor. Well, the one thing that I'd like to point out is that first up, we're very proud of all actually I think we have 14 on our Patreon. I'm very proud of all 14 Patreon that we have, and it gives us extra time to actually spend with them. I like the fact that we have only a small group. It allows me to literally post on our secret Facebook group literally every single day, spend a lot of extra time helping with all the itineraries and all that. Literally, we had Kat and Noah that traveled around New Zealand literally last week, and I had so much time because we have so little amount of Patreon that I was able to message them when I knew that the weather was not going to be good for one of the activities and offer some alternative activities for them to do and discuss with them on that. So I would like to actually remind everybody that yes, we talk about Patreon because that's a great way to connect even further with you guys, and because it takes us a lot of time to provide NZ Pocket Guide for free, and I'll get back to that in a minute, as well as provide all our content right here for free. And I feel like, if you don't want to join us on Patreon, it's absolutely fine. We still provide a ton of information for free everywhere, but I don't think that being rude is ever going to help. So that person is now blocked from the channel, and that's all done. And we also do have nzpocketguide.com that we talk about quite a lot. Pre-COVID, that was the website that was helping, or at least having, over 14 million unique readers every single year. So that's a lot of people that we're helping planning a trip to New Zealand, and we're very proud to be helping all those people for free. Yes, I know there is some advertisement on the side, but we do also have to eat, pay the bills, and also do a lot of our work, because this company that we're running is not for profit. So Laura and I can only pay ourselves minimum wage. That's part of our company chart, and all the money that we make, we actually are spending it or saving it to run a sustainable tourism project in the South Pacific Islands. So here you go. That's the only thing that I'm going to be saying for today. If you feel like joining us on Patreon, you can, but if you don't want to, there is no reason to be rude. In the meantime, let's go back to our live show. Where are we at?
Okay, so we have, I think Kiwi Lauren was where we were up to. Oh no, we have MD saying any ski resorts.
Yes, there are plenty of ski resorts in New Zealand. Actually, the largest ski resort in the country is actually on the North Island. Most people actually don't know that.
Yeah,
the largest ski area, actually, I think, not ski resort.
Yeah, because in New Zealand, they're more called ski areas or ski fields rather than resorts, because there's very limited or actually pretty much no accommodation for staying at ski resorts, and there's not really the facilities aren't as big as, say, in Europe or the US for skiing. But yeah, the largest one in the country is on Mount Ruapehu. There is Turoa and Whakapapa. But then in the South Island, you have the most variety of ski fields. For instance, Queenstown, Wanaka, that sort of area is really famous for its skiing, as you have Cadrona, the Remarkables, Coronet Peak, and Treble Cone as like the four sort of major ski areas of the South Island. But also you have Mount Hood is another really large ski field, relatively large ski field that is closest city would be to Christchurch. Okay.
Kiwi Lauren.
I've always ended in Christchurch, and as a result, I hardly know anything about the city because I'm always so tired when I get there.
That is a common trope of people traveling in New Zealand, actually.
Yeah, it'll be more of a priority this time around, I think. I remember staying at a hostel, maybe base, right in Cathedral Square in August 2010, and I believe it wasn't too long after that the earthquake hit and that beautiful cathedral was crumbled.
Well, if you do have some extra time in Christchurch, there is definitely a lot to do in and around the city, and if you can escape to the Banks Peninsula, man, that is awesome.
Yeah, Extreme Taluta says, see you guys next week. See you guys. See you, Extreme Taluta.
Oh, sorry, YouTube is asking me to ask you to hit the like button. If you guys want to hit the like button, you can.
Yeah, go for it. Christine says, when New Zealand borders are completely open, are they still requiring testing prior to arrival?
So it's not official yet. So right now, yes, but it's not official yet until when that's going to be phased out. But that's been strongly hinted that testing requirements will be scrapped either before or very shortly after the border opening is happening. So we don't know officially yet, but we strongly suspect it will.
Okay, we have Iced Coffee, which that's a pretty cool username, I have to say.
I do like that username. Okay.
You know what time it is.
Iced Coffee. You've got the best username of the week. Best username. Yes, every week we give an award, which is worth nothing. It's literally just that little logo on the screen for the best username of the week, and you get it today. Iced coffee. I do like it.
Yeah.
I do like that a lot.
So Iced Coffee says, are there foreign money changers in Auckland Airport? There certainly are. However, it's only one company.
Yep.
Travel
Exchange, is that the
Travel
name?
Exchange.
Yeah, Travel Exchange, yeah.
I'm 98% sure that's the name of them. So there's only one company. You can find them they have different booths around both the, in lots of areas around the international terminal. However, this is probably where you're going to get the worst exchange rates in New Zealand. It's much better to wait until you get, if for instance you're going into Auckland City, you have a lot more currency exchange options in the city. So we definitely recommend doing that over changing your currency at the airport.
Yes. It's always more expensive to change your currency at the airport.
And we do check every time we go there. We do take obviously quite a lot of flights from Auckland Airport, and we go and check. We always ask questions when we get there and just see how their exchange rates are, and they usually are the worst that we've seen. So yeah, definitely not recommended. We do have an article on nzpocketguide.com which lists the best places to go and get your currency exchanged in New Zealand, in all the main arrival cities in New Zealand. So go check out that article.
And Lawrence Lesha is pitching in right here saying, I already went to my local US bank and brought some New Zealand dollars. It took a few days for the currency to come. And there is also a hello, Laura and Robin. Hello. Yeah, so definitely you can get some New Zealand dollars. To be fair, right now the New Zealand dollars is quite low compared to the US dollars. So you could do the some homework beforehand, and that may save you quite a few dollars. All right, let's go back up. Do we have swan in New Zealand, says MD?
We do have swans in New
Black
Zealand.
swans as well.
Yes.
Amazing black swans.
Mostly black swans, which some say that they think that they have sort of migrated from Australia, and that's why they kind of classed as a native bird in New Zealand.
I thought the Queen brought it in her luggages.
Probably.
Okay.
And we've only seen white swans in like one park in New Zealand, which was in Whanganui.
Yes,
no?
in
Was
the
it
Victorian Garden.
Yeah.
Victoria.
Virginia
Lake Park. Yes, that's the name.
We got there together. We
yes,
got the
teamwork
name.
right here. Fist bump for teamwork.
So
nice.
Whanganui is the only place where we've seen a white swan in New Zealand, but there's lots of opportunities to see black swans on the lakes across New Zealand.
Spider Mech says, Spider Sense gotta go. Kakite.
That always cracks me up.
That's always so funny. What animals live in New Zealand, says MG?
Oh.
Kiwi bird. It's actually currently is Kiwi week right here on NZ Pocket Guide. So Kiwi month. We do have plenty of content about Kiwi birds coming up. We did have one day in the life of a Kiwi ranger coming out last week. if you guys missed this video, seriously check it out. I absolutely had a blast going to collect a I had a blast going to collect a kiwi bird. That was really fun. And this week we're gonna have 2 Kiwi Rangers answering the most popular internet questions about kiwi birds. So that's gonna be a lot of fun. And next week Laura disappears. Woo! And she's going to be replaced by a Kiwi Ranger that's going to join me, and you'll be able to ask all your questions about the kiwi birds in New Zealand. So yeah, kiwi birds, and more kiwi birds. Make sure you check out that video. It's already on the channel. Seriously, check it out. I had a blast doing it.
So what other animals are in New Zealand? It's mostly birds. New Zealand has a really quite an isolated, really different sort of evolving of animals that happened here in New Zealand because it's such an isolated country.
We also have some fruit bats. We have a tutara, which is like a lizard.
Bats, the native bats in New Zealand are the only land mammals in the country, for instance. So it's mostly birds. There's also, different types of lizards, obviously insects, that sort of thing. So we do have articles on NZ Pocket Guide listing some birds to look out for while you're in New Zealand. Everyone is a little bit of a bird nerd in this country. You'll come to love our feathered friends once you've come here to New Zealand. But I could talk about animals all day, so maybe I shouldn't and we should move on, or else Robin is going to give me the stink eye. All right, Clay.
Walls is keep on going about Walls Plantland right here and says more than that, guys. Like the website, it's also fluid. Awesome cafes on the pond, a maze, driving range, 18 holes, mini golf, train ride, and yes, pleasure for green thumbs.
Oh, I like that. You know what? I might just copy and paste that straight onto the website to say, this is Clay's recommendation. Go to Walls Garden Centre or whatever it was called, and pleasures for green thumbs. Perfect.
Okay, Clay says name and shame. No, I wouldn't do that. It's just that person was very insistent and commenting on pretty much a lot of the videos and everything, and then got very upset. It's okay. I did reply to a lot of her questions, but then she became really rude, and I replied to like 10 questions, and I say, maybe join us on Patreon, and then she got really mean, and I feel like, it's kind of, you can't just keep on asking people for free time all the time, and then if at one point they say, hey, maybe consider this, I'd even say you have to, I say consider this, and it's not a nice thing. It happens quite often, but this one was particularly rude, so I decided to address it. That's it. But we're never going to hear from her again since she's banned from the channel. Fabio says, we stayed there in Christchurch for about 7 days. It's a cool town. Yeah, Christchurch is a really nice town. I do feel like it got a lot of bad rap, Christchurch, but it is a really nice town. It's pretty cool.
You like Christchurch, don't you?
Yeah, I do. MD says, you should answer every question regardless of its nature. No, I think we're right to pick and choose what we want to answer. However, we answer pretty much everything. We answered pretty much all the questions in the chat, even today. There's not much that we missed. Helen Wilkinson says, I have a travel money card, which I have to put my New Zealand dollars on. Yeah, so a lot of people do use travel money card. I personally feel like cash is actually the easiest way to go, and especially it's cheaper as well. But for convenience, I feel like having the card, it gives you a bit of peace of mind as well. But you'll realize that sometimes it's not accepted everywhere, travel money card, which can get quite annoying. So that's why cash is never going to be refused, let's be honest.
People want your cash.
Yes.
MD says...
no, I think it's Fabio.
Oh, sorry. Fabio says, is the person's account name something about the human state after birth and before they are in early childhood? Is it? Is it, Robin?
I try to catch the... No, I don't think so. It was literally a person's name. I can't take someone as an example, but that would be rude. But that would be name, last name. That was literally a person's name. I
think we might have missed the one. Maybe it's not. If we just Kiwi Lauren says, never mind those people who have had nothing better to do with their time than be rude to others. You guys are fantastic. And 99% of us know that. She's a bad apple.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree with you, Kiwi Lauren. 100%. I am always focusing on 99%. And that's why we have so many people banned from the channel. As soon as they get a bit rude, they get banned. MD says, you two have ignored 2 of them. Be upfront. Damn, life is good. Yeah, life is good. What are we? Any ski resort? You have Swan.
We talked about monkeypox.
No, we went through. Sometimes it doesn't, or maybe missed. You are more than welcome to put them again, and yeah, if they're appropriate, we answer them. We always do. Clay says,
"Look, it's Dunedin. I don't have much here." Did I mention the Stamp and Coin Collection Club? Stamp. Oh, sorry, and Coin Collection Club down the road. Oh well, I mean
say no more. I'm chartering a flight. I'm literally getting a private jet right here to come to check out the stamp collection in Dunedin.
I don't know what you mean by we don't have much here.
We always praise Dunedin for like all the wildlife and everything.
Yeah, Dunedin is actually one of my favourite cities in New Zealand because of the amount of stuff to do there, both city-wise and nature-wise nearby. Dunedin is a pretty good place to live.
Stop dissing Dunedin. I feel like you diss Dunedin more than what we do.
You're focusing too much on the quirky little stamp collection guy, which, we don't need to give them, airtime right now. There's amazing stuff to do in Dunedin.
Yeah, and even if you want to stay indoor, like honestly, the Otago Museum, the Toitu Museum, all those are really cool. They're actually really good museums. Like, I actually prefer the Otago Museum compared to the Auckland Museum.
Yeah.
My favourite museum in New Zealand is always going to be the Te Papa Museum.
And the Otago Museum is free compared to, I think it's like about $25 to go to the Auckland Museum.
Unless
as
you're
a visitor.
local, if you live in Auckland, you get it for free.
Dunedin has a lot going for it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
B+N says, sorry there are mean people out there. Don't get discouraged by one mean person.
Don't worry about it.
MD says, I think you guys are awesome. Nice. Fabio says, Dunedin is a giga city, Clay.
It is. Giga town. Dunedin is awesome, says Bill Sam. I would move there. Perfect balance of everything.
Yeah,
there you go, Clay.
Really is.
Come on. MD asks, where is Gordon Ramsay? I have no idea.
Robin usually knows because Robin actually learnt a lot of his English from watching Hell's Kitchen.
Exactly.
Which explains a lot. We're not on YouTube because, we do have to mind our language while we are on YouTube. But yeah, Robin did learn quite a lot of English from the man himself, Gordon Ramsay.
Yes. Okay, Clay says, I have a DCC Toyota Corolla. Meet the charter to pick you up. Oh, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, that's a great transition.
Make sure you use a brown carpet, not a red carpet at that point.
Yes.
Okay, Fabio says, in London, I think MD.
Oh, for Gordon Ramsay. He's probably in London.
Yeah. In London, yes.
We got there. A little bit slow.
Sometimes a bit slow.
Clay says, shucks, guys, I'm humbled.
Yeah, Dunedin is awesome. Stop it. Stop the nonsense.
Anthony Comstock gives his signature comment, which is, stay safe, but I'm here till the end.
By the way, every week we do an extra 1 hour live session with our Patreon. So we hang out for an extra hour, literally just after this one, and we do another hour, right? And Anthony still says this every week during the Patreon live session. So it's not just for you guys. This signature goes all around. All right, so we have Christine. She says, what's your favorite or top hotel in Auckland? Okay, so if there is a couple which actually kind of stand out because I feel like it's going to be a little bit rude, right? But a hotel is kind of a hotel. It's a bed. Usually we go into destinations for the destination itself and all the other things you do. So if I have to pick favorite hotel, I'll pick something that really stands out from the crowd, right? So obviously we do have our 50 best accommodation in Auckland article, which is, it takes in account like price and location and all these kind of things. So seriously, go on NZ Pocket Guide and type like best accommodation Auckland and you'll find all that. However, if I have to pick my personal favorite, they have to have a major point of difference. So the Hilton in Auckland is literally one of the pier, and it's literally like on the water, and you get like literally the Auckland Harbour views and everything, and I think that's really cool. And that's like one of them where you literally have to walk on the pier and get in there. So I think that's a really cool hotel in Auckland. The second one would be the Sky City because you literally have a view of the Sky Tower. You just ride by there. It's super central and so that'll be the other one, because you have a really different kind of very different experience.
And there's two Sky Cities. There's the Sky City, and then there's the Grand
Hotel. Yes. And I think with the Grand Hotel, you actually get, or you can ask like a concierge, if you want like little extras and everything like that. They let you go in the Sky Tower for free and all that. So that'd be like the two that really have a strong point of difference, and so that's where I would go for.
For me.
By the way, if you guys find our video useful, make sure to hit a like. YouTube is not happy with the amount of likes we got today.
Not happy at all.
Not happy. This robot, not happy.
Yeah. Another recommendation would be the Hotel in Auckland. They also have opened one in some other cities around New Zealand, but it's kind of like a boutique hotel that is very design focused. So it just looks good. It just looks good on photos. It's a small hotel, so it has that sort of like more intimate vibe. But honestly, Robin and I prefer to stay in hostels when we're traveling around.
Yeah, or more budget hotels.
Hotels when we're traveling around New Zealand, because we feel that there's often a lot of character that those accommodations have, that we're more about traveling for the experiences of New Zealand and sometimes a little bit less about the accommodations. But we do have all types of accommodations listed on nzpocketguide.com.
Speaking of Gordon Ramsay, says B+N, I think they're filming a New Zealand version of MasterChef.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're filming it in Queenstown. We'll see what happens. B+N also say, Christine, top hotel Voco just reopened and it's on my list. Park Hyatt is cool too. So here you go.
Two good suggestions.
MD says, I'm little MD, uppercase MD exist. Catch the wave. Okay, I think that was responding to Fabio. And then Fabio says, Gordon Ramsay has a show on Disney Plus in which he visited New Zealand and meets XY, I really don't remember her name, famous Maori chef in Wellington.
I think I saw on YouTube there was him like going into the bush with like a famous New Zealand chef and getting natural ingredients, and he's like, oh my god, this
his
is
shows
so
are
crazy.
always like so set up though. It just
it felt very set up.
Oh really? Oh
it
man.
was like she's going to climb up this tree or whatever, and then they just like cut to the top of the tree. Ooh. There was a nice little alarm for you all there. But I think I saw something similar on YouTube. Maybe it's not the same thing, but... Yeah.
And to be fair, I do not know any famous chef in New Zealand because we don't really watch TV or anything like that. So yeah. I don't really know.
We actually dined with a famous chef in New Zealand at Makaroa Lodge. She was, I say famous chef. She was a contestant in one of the MasterChefs. And she made us venison. She made us like a venison dish, and that
marked me a lot.
Yeah,
I definitely didn't forget
we have
that.
Okay, when I say famous chef, I don't know if a MasterChef contestant really counts, but she was saying that she was on MasterChef New Zealand.
There you go. All right, and we have Baby Burns that says, "What's up, guys?" Well, what's up is that it's 9 o'clock. It's already over.
Oh no!
It's already done. So yeah. MD says, name the wildlife. Well, we already named quite a few.
Let's go. Sperm whale, New Zealand fur seal. We have the kiwi bird. We have the kaka. We have the kakapo. We have the
kereru.
We have the ruru. We have the
takahe.
Kiwakawaka. The takahe. Pukeko. Okay, so that's
Tuatara.
10 wildlife for you.
Weta.
Robin keeps going.
Maui dolphins. Hector
dolphins. We have common dolphins. Bottlenose dolphins.
Yes.
Hopefully that's enough named for you, MD.
Yeah, New Zealand, Northern and Robin, Southern and Robin. We
Stewart Island Robin. All the subspecies in between.
Kea,
cool.
We forgot the Kea.
Kea
alpine parrots.
Indeed, the world's only.
Anyway, that's
some wildlife.
Yeah, that's a bunch of wildlife. B by the sense, and Monique Fizo is the author of Hikai, the Maori Cookbook. Interesting. Well, here you go. Thank you very much, B+N, for adding that. I have to be honest, we're not really super into like famous chefs and everything. So yeah. Baby Burn says, name one food that's come to your mind that people should try when they visit New Zealand. Only one.
Hangi.
Power fritters. You didn't see that coming.
No.
Here you go. Fabio says NZ Robin. Yeah, good suggestion. And Kiwi Lauren says Dusky Dolphin. So here you go,
There's
MD.
another dolphin.
That's a bunch of wildlife from New Zealand. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us for an entire hour, hanging out, chatting about New Zealand, chatting about traveling in New Zealand. We are going to be doing the question of the day. Question of the day. Question of the day. Wow. It's the question of the day. All right, we wrap up.
Beautiful, Robin.
We wrap up with the question of the day. The mountain that is a must-see on your itinerary is Mount Cook at 42%, Mount Tongariro at 30%, Mount Taranaki at 19%, and Mount Maunganui at 7%. 26 of you guys voted. Thank you so much. Thank you very much to the 19 of you that hit the like button to reward all our hard work. That's really lovely. And thank you very much to our 12 Patreon, or 14 Patreon subscribers that are helping us make all this possible. We will now head to Patreon for a Patreon live session. I leave you with this view because it looks like it just got you guys talking.
It's probably going to be the last time you see it.
Apparently you guys really hated it. Anyway,
yeah.
Yes,
We'll
bye says Bill%. Time guys says Fabio. And MD says, no, I'll be back with some enrichment. Love you two guys. Quiz you two on something. You guys rock. Thank you very much, MD. Bye-bye.
See you next week. Bye.